Hey, what up, folks, and welcome back to the Zero to Funded series. And I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
It has been a not so great time in the markets for the Power Ranger strat. So we're gonna go through how things have been going and what are we going to change moving forward to ensure we do not blow this funded account. So while we get into it, if you guys are looking to trade your own funded account and make some pips, make some money, go ahead and use the code FISA for 35% off any Vault Funder account. You can go ahead and use the link down in the description down below. Get yourself a Vault Funder account. Some of the best trade conditions in the world, particularly on indices like NAS, which is what we've been trading this account on. So without further ado, let's go into the metrics and let me show you how things have gone in week 3 and 4. Okay, so looking at the metrics so far, you can see how equity curve has been on a downward trajectory. Right now, we are currently sitting at about minus 7%. So we're 3% away from blowing the account. And this is when some drastic management has to be taken into account. We've taken 15 trades so far. Average loss has been about 1%, 7% down right now, but it is not too late to turn things around. You can see we hit a break even on the 31st. I believe the last update I gave you guys was on the 30th. So 31st took a break even and then took 3 more losses after that. So right now we're going to make a couple of changes, which I'll show you on the chart next. But yeah, it has not been looking good for the Power Ranger. Some of the reasons why is the change in market structure from last year to this year. We had Donald Trump enter the mix on the 20th of Jan, and since then, the moves have been massive, and that 40 pip stop that we've been relying on thus far has not quite been cutting it. There have been a lot of trades where we were just wicked out by less than 10 pips, and then market shifted and ended up going straight to TP thereafter. So couple unlucky breaks here. It looks terrible on paper when you look at just the P&L, but if you look at the trades themselves, you can see from the previous episodes, a lot of them were just a little bit unlucky. So I'm going to show you what the trades look like over the last 2 weeks and the changes we're going to implement moving forward. Okay, so looking at it Friday the 31st, you can see here we took a break even on the trade. Perfect little entry. It ran up almost to TP, missing TP by less than 10 pips before reversing and hitting us at break even. That was just unlucky. Happens sometimes. Ordinarily wouldn't be a big deal. We then had that massive gap over there. And here we didn't get an entry. Straight candle up. We did not get entry confirmations for there, so we didn't enter. This would have been a TP trade had we gotten our entry confirmation, but it is what it is. Here, did we get an entry? There was one trade I missed out on. No, we didn't get an entry confirmation on this one either. This may or may not have hit TP. I believe this is the one where your boy was just distracted. I had other things going on that day. That was the Wednesday. Didn't enter this trade. However, we did have our entry confirmation candle there. This would have been a winning trade had we entered it. Straight up to TP. This little pullback here may or may not have wicked us out, but I think we would have survived that. But we didn't enter that trade. So we missed out on a good 2.5% return on that, which would have drastically changed what the P&L looked like heading into the rest of the week. Here looking at Thursday, we got a stop loss in this one. This one would have been a straight up loss because even if we had survived these pullbacks, that one would have taken us out. So that's absolutely fine. No entry confirmation on that day. No entry confirmation on this day. And here, a little stop loss on this one. Just wrong on the day. The strat only has about if you look at 2024's data, about a 52% hit rate. I have not done the calculation for the hit rate on 2025's data, but it's not looking too good. But in individual months, it does have its own track record like that. If you see here, and what I'm saying about the markets being a little bit more extended than normal, these candles being a little bit bigger, particularly this engulfing candle, we entered there, we got stopped out by a 50 pip stop, which is significant, but then direction correct, and it eventually tricked up to the direction we were looking for. If we look at this trade, there was no entry on there. And now we get back to where we are there, and that's just a little grab a kick trade I'm in. Did not take that on the current Power Ranger strat. So in order to mitigate some of the losses, what we're going to do now is we're going to drop down to risking only 0.5%. We've been risking 1% per trade thus far. Due to slippage and spreads, it ended up being a little bit more than 1%, so we've lost 1% over the 15 trades we've done. So with 3% left, we're going to go to 0.5%, and we're going to increase our stop loss from a 40 pip to a 50 pip, just to account for the increase in volatility that we've been having lately. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a 0.5% until we get back to about 4% in drawdown. So it's still going to be a 2.5 R target. So by risking 0.5%, we're going to be getting about 1.25% per win. And we're going to look to keep that until we can get to about just under 5% in drawdown. Then we'll swap over to a 1% risk per trade again, or maybe sell somewhere in the middle with a 0.75% risk per trade. Luckily, the RR that we have, the 2.5 RR for every win, is still working. I've done the measurements, and we can still expect over 125 pip moves to account for the increase in how much the stop loss is increasing. So we're going to see how it's going to go. We are currently in the 17th of Feb as of the recording of this. So we're going to see how it goes over the next week. Today's Monday, so over the next week, and if the account survives over the course of the rest of the month. So things are looking a little dire right now, but we're still in the game, and we have a plan on how to crawl out. Really excited to see how the next 2 weeks goes. I really do think the strat is going to come alive. We just need to, the account just needs to survive long enough for us to get to that point where the market conditions are favorable for this strat again. And again, if you want to follow along with this, go ahead and use code FISA to get 35% off a Vault Funder account today. 35% off all two-step accounts. Join me on the Power Ranger strat. I'm going to put a link to the back testing we did on the Power Ranger so you can try it out for yourself, do your own back testing, do your own data collection. The strat is a winner in 2024. We're going to see how it's going to perform in 2025. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.